Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open what is honestly the ultimate player's handbook for the human mind. I mean, if you've ever felt like your brain is operating on this wildly complex set of hidden mechanics, buffs, and debuffs, well, you're absolutely right. We're going to decode an ancient system known as the Missaka Sangaha. This text breaks down human consciousness with the exact precision of a top-tier video game developer. We're going to map out exactly how your mind's internal engine works, letting you see the literal code behind your everyday actions. So what exactly does Missaka Sangaha mean? Literally, it translates to the compendium of mixed categories. And you should think of this exactly like a modern video game engine. An engine doesn't sit there and judge whether a player is making good or bad choices, right? It just seamlessly mixes positive, negative, and neutral stats to dictate your gameplay and render your reality. In this exact same framework, your consciousness is constantly mixing wholesome, unwholesome, and neutral or indeterminate mental factors together to create your moment-to-moment experience. Okay, let's dive into this by checking our ultimate inventory before embarking on a major boss raid. We've got 6 core systems. 1, the base stats, or roots. 2, your avatar fuel, known as nutriments. 3, flow states, or jhana factors. 4, your skill trees, mapping the paths. 5, high-tier perks, which are your faculties and powers. And finally, 6, the party leaders, the predominants. Section 1, the mind's base stats, the 6 roots, or hetu. Every single action your avatar takes in life is firmly established by its core alignment stats. These are the roots. Take a look at the unwholesome roots first, lobha, dosa, and moha, which translate to greed, hatred, and delusion. Operating on these stats is literally like playing a game by hoarding all the loot selfishly, rage quitting when you hit a minor obstacle, or wandering the map completely blind to the rules. Contrasting this, we have the exact opposites, the wholesome roots. These are non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion. When you operate on these stats, you're playing with high perception wisdom, unparalleled generosity, and a really benevolent, compassionate worldview. Both sets of stats exist in the game engine. The ones you feed determine the moral quality of your entire playthrough. Moving to Section 2, fueling your avatar, the 4 nutriments, or ahara. To sustain those base stats, you obviously need resources. So the Missaka Sangaha outlines 4 ahara, or nutriments, basically your essential HP and stamina bars. The first one is pretty straightforward, edible food. This simply sustains your physical hardware, giving your body the actual energy to function. The second is contact, which feeds your feelings, giving you delight, displeasure, or neutrality. But the third one? This is where the game gets incredibly deep. Mental volition. This is the sheer will that actually forms your karma, that action and reaction energy that generates your respawns or future rebirths. And the fourth is consciousness itself, which sustains your mind and body together as one cohesive unit. Without these 4 nutriments, your avatar just ceases to function. Section 3, focus and flow states, powered by the 7 jhana factors, or jhananga. Now, what's really fascinating about this is that these jhana factors act exactly like an aim-down sights mechanic in a shooter game. They allow your mind to aggressively lock onto a target. We've got initial application, which snaps your aim directly to the target, and sustained application, which holds your reticle there, perfectly steady. Then you add in zest and one-pointedness. But here is the crucial takeaway. These factors are operating even outside of deep monastic meditation. When you're intensely focused on a difficult task at work, or even just playing a video game, these exact factors are actively locking your mind onto the object, applying passive joy buffs if you like the task, or displeasure debuffs if you hate it. Let's see how all of this builds our literal skill tree. Section 4, the 12 path factors. Magga signifies a path that leads to a specific destination. In our explainer today, we're looking at 12 factors that map out 2 vastly different quest lines. On the one hand, we have the 8 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path, things like right view, right action, and right mindfulness. If you spec into these, you are securely on the hero quest line, heading towards ultimate deliverance and nibbana. But on the other hand, we have the 4 wrong path factors: wrong view, wrong intention, wrong effort, and wrong concentration. Spec into these, and your avatar is grinding down a path motivated entirely by defilements, which leads inevitably to some pretty woeful states. The game engine allows both. It is entirely up to the player where they allocate their skill points. Section 5, perks and power-ups. It's time to level up to the faculties and powers. 22. Yeah, that is the staggering number of faculties running simultaneously in the background of your mind right this very second. Let's break down what they actually do. In this system, a faculty, or indriya, translates to lordship in its domain. You can think of them as regional bosses. They are psychological and physical phenomena that take complete dominating control, but only over their very specific localized domain of your avatar. For example, your eye faculty completely governs seeing, but it has absolutely zero power over what you hear. These 22 regional bosses break down into some really logical categories. First, we start with the physical hardware, the 5 physical sensitivities, like your eyes and ears. Then we have the faculties of material, sex, life, and mind. Now, these all feed into your sensational and spiritual software. Spiritual faculties include things like confidence, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. And here's the cool part. If you cultivate the spiritual software perfectly, you eventually unlock the highest tier in the entire game, the 3 faculties of supra-mundane wisdom. This is God-tier, penetrating wisdom that realizes the ultimate truths of reality, literally leaving nothing behind for further knowing.
And this brings us to a really brilliant distinction, the difference between faculties and powers. While a faculty exercises extreme control only in its respective, limited sphere, a power, or bala, acts as a permanent, unshakable, passive buff or debuff. Powers strengthen your core traits to the point where they simply cannot be shaken by their opposites.
We actually have 9 of these powers. Some are highly wholesome, like unshakable faith, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, along with the very protective powers of shame and fear of wrongdoing. But look closely at the rest of the list. Shamelessness and fearlessness of wrongdoing. These are exclusively unwholesome, yet they are still categorized as powers. Why? Because if you continually cultivate negative traits, your shamelessness genuinely becomes an unshakable, passive debuff. It will confidently override any hesitation you have, locking you into some specific and usually destructive karmic results. Finally, we arrive at Section 6, the ultimate party leader. The 4 predominants, or adipati. At the absolute top of your mind's hierarchy sit the adipati. These are the ultimate party leaders of your mind's raid group. Out of all the factors we've discussed, there are exactly 4 mental conditions that have the capability to seize total control. The prominence of desire, the prominence of energy, the prominence of consciousness, and the prominence of investigation. The crucial point here is understanding how this differs from a regional boss like a faculty. The source text puts it like this: a predominant exercises supreme control over the entire citta and cittasika. This means that only one predominant can take charge at any exact moment. When one of these 4 steps up as the party leader, every single other mental factor, faculty, and power is forced to fall in line and follow its lead, completely directing your consciousness and physical actions to accomplish whatever that leader wants. So, what does this all mean for us? Well, it brings us to the ultimate question for you as a player. The Missaka Sangaha has shown us the exact code governing the mind's engine, mixing wholesome, unwholesome, and neutral factors. When you pause and check your own mental inventory today, which party leader is currently taking charge? Are you running on the wholesome roots of wisdom or the unwholesome roots of delusion? Mapping this inventory isn't just an abstract theory. It's the essential first step to truly mastering the game of life. Keep analyzing those stats, and I'll see you in the next explainer.